Hey there kind people, it's me Eun-bi. Welcome back to my review of I-LAND2 NA. We are finally into part 2. As we discussed before, from now on it will be an individual battle. Although before they didn't specifically mention that, it was always an individual battle. However, just by adding a simple word, they changed the whole vibe of the show. That's what we saw. Part 2 has a different vibe from the part 1. You will notice some shift in terms of tone and pace, and I really appreciate that. They finally reveal how many people will debut. It is 6. I guessed it correctly, but I'm not happy. It makes it difficult on so many levels. There are still 3 weeks left for the final, but I already know I will be hurt by any possible outcome. Let's discuss this later on the video. Anyway, the producers ranked them again. I will not talk about rank that much because they are bound to change. The only big change was Jimin from 1st to 7. I might not agree with the rankings, but I can see their vision. Based on the ranking, they got different type of rooms. It was said before, the higher the rank, the more benefit they will get. Like in this episode, higher ranker got to choose their practice room. Anyway, the first round of part 2 was the Black Maid. It meant they reproduced some already existing song, trying to give them a vibe of how they would sound if they were produced under Teddy. However, 2 out of 3 were originally produced by Teddy, so I don't know what they accomplished by that. Anyway, that's not something new. We already saw the same thing in Universe Take It, and they did this in every round. However, I like that thing there so much. I like it here too. But there you could feel those changes. It had a different color than the original, but here the changes are really trivial. Anyway, this time the producers also divided the team and chose the leader. Was it the same in part 1 too, or are they really copying Universe Take It? Please let me know, Navia. Although in the show it was like first the part distribution and self-evaluation, then before every performance they showed interim evaluation and other backstories, but I will go over stage by stage and include everything that happened around that stage. First, Team Lavian Rose. The members were Kim Gyuri, Bang Jimin, Yoo Sarang, and Fuko. They had to go through a lot. Actually, Jimin had to go through a lot. Finally, as I wanted, Jimin got the chance to become the leader, but there wasn't a moment where she could flaunt her leadership quality. Moving on, there was a battle for parts, Fuko versus Gyuri for the main vocal, where Fuko won, and Sarang versus Jimin for the center, where Jimin won. But because of the rank drop, she wasn't confident. Because of that, she was missing the same high note. We saw both Fuko and judges say she can do it, but she is not that confident. I know Jimin will never see my video, but still, if I could say something to her, I would say we fan have 50% of the power. I'm not sure about the producer, but we fan will always be on her side. She also saw how much we are rooting for her before this stage, so I hope she will be much more confident from now on. But one thing I didn't like was the live chats. Because of just the high note, they are saying, oh, of course she was a hype train. She should have debuted in I-LAND with her boring peers. How can you ignore all the great performance she delivered before? But I don't need to say anything because she slapped them in their face with her performance. She didn't miss any notes. She even enjoyed the stage, and like JYP said, I guess, if you enjoy the stage, the audience will also enjoy it, which I actually did. Not sure if he actually said that or not, but he definitely said this.
Obviously, you're not that good.
Unfortunately, today it applied to Sarang. She made multiple mistakes and also missed a crucial high note. We all know she is good. It was just that luck wasn't with her that day. But again, some people in live chat were spamming karma. I don't understand what incident they were referring to. If that was based on today's episode, and if I remember correctly, she even tried to help Jimin. Anyway, Gyuri was decent. In my opinion, Jimin was good but wasn't the best. It was Fuko. She looked like a fairy. Even her performance felt like magic. As a team, Fuko and Jimin mostly cried this stage. I forgot to mention the stage they were performing on, and the whole set gave music show vibe. If someone said it was a recycled stage of M Countdown, I wouldn't be surprised. Next team was I Am The Best, and the members of this team were Kim Soo-jung, Mai, Son Ji-won, and Eun Ji-yoon. Ji-won was the leader of this team. My first thought was leader Ji-won. They already went on that route, why again? But this time was different. For context, Mai has a problem in that she sings from her nose or something, so she didn't want to do a particular part. In response to that, Ji-won replied, you will face it regardless. And seeing that judges were calling her savage and they would say the exact same thing, I was like, am I saying the same show? If that would happen 2 episodes ago, they would show it in 3 different angles with 4 different reactions. They also showed where she was taking notes saying her teammates' performance. One thing, I'm really confused about one situation. Mai was practicing but it was wrong. Sujang noticed it but didn't tell her, but she was also discussing it with other contestants and they are in the same team. I'm certain it's not evaluating, but we can blame her too, as it was established before part 2 is about individual battle. They have to focus on their own performance. Everyone here is competition. Mai will not help her to debut. She has to debut on her own. Although we can blame her, I share a different view than her. I have the same view as Jeon. I'm a team player. If we are performing together, I will think about the team as a whole, regardless how the evaluation works. And because of this incident, Sujang will lose some fans and Jeon will gain a lot. Sometimes these small things really matter. Sujang also got criticized in the interim evaluation because she was imitating CL. She was doing her part, but it was from decades ago. If you try to copy and paste without your own flavor, it would look cringe, which it was. Anyway, on to the performance. If we talk about the team performance, it was the best. It had a great energy and they were successful in delivering that energy. But if I look individually, it feels like Jeon overshadowed others. She was perfect in every category. Stage presence, check. Vocal, check. Movement, check. Facial expression, check. She was carrying the performance. She was a great leader. I don't know what's with Mai and Jeon, but when they go on stage, they just somehow impress me. Sujang wasn't awkward. It was good, although she kept the same tone. It wasn't as cringe as it was in the practice. The last team was Team Lovesick Girl, and the performers were Nam Yoo-ju, Jung Sebi, Che Jung-eun, and Coco. In other teams, it was mostly focused on one or two members, but here all the members were involved. First, in the part distribution, Sebi was the leader, but as Jung-eun had the experience, she was stepping in between. You know what? We all were fools. All this time we were thinking they were evaluating Jeon. They used reverse psychology on us. They were sharing Jong-un all along. They showed like Jong-un was a dictator. Although Sebi was the leader, she kept pushing like she was the leader. But in my point of view, she was just helping Sebi. Sebi was the youngest and it was her first time being the leader. As she has the experience, she can see the bigger picture. She was helping so that it would help the team. Finally, they also showed the reason behind Jeon and Jung-un's tension. I already said that in my second episode review. They were friends, so Jeon had expectation from her. And this can be resolved if they just talk it out. And they will eventually. It's not that big of a deal. In the next round, they will perform together, so there is a possibility it will be resolved. However, the second part of this team story was around Coco and Yoo-ju. They both wanted to do the same part, main dancer. In the end, Yoo-ju got it, but she got criticized so many times, mostly because she was focusing on the rap, not the dance. But she kept the part in the end. As Coco had a short part, Sebi gave some part to her. Although I loved when Sebi performed those rap part in the interim evaluation. However, Coco was struggling with the pronunciation and Sebi helped her. And with that, people will start to shape them together, which I don't like. When people see a shape, they try hard to make them debut together. Hanbin Matthew, Hanbin Changho. I know it's always Hanbin. However, ship always debut together. That makes fewer odds for my pick. More on that later. Now the performance. Sebi kept her title being the perfect center. As I said before, she has an aura that just make you love her. I always loved Yoo-ju, but today she was a bit disappointing. When her part came, it suddenly became less energetic. I thought my headphone just broke, but maybe there was a problem with her mic because it was like that in the whole performance. So it just might be Eminem trying to sabotage her. On the other hand, Coco, I didn't want to enjoy her part. I wanted her to mess up, but she took my heart. If you can make a hater to your friend, that means you did something incredible. Last time I wasn't happy with Jong-un, but I knew she would do awesome. Her performance was like an already debuted idol. She was the most stable out of all 12. I really enjoyed this stage, but I really don't understand how she is in the last place. I know there are some dumb people, but that many? They didn't reveal the result fully. We have to wait for the next week. They also revealed the current ranking of some contestant. Mai was in 10th. She really needs to do something so that she can be picked by the producers. Sebi was 7th. I thought people would love her so much. These rankings are really shocking. And sadly, Jeon is in last. As we saw Yoo-ju's score and last voting, I have a feeling she has a high ranking. However, now it is time to pick my top 6. If you remember, I said I love all 12 of them, so picking just 6 was tough, so I did process of elimination and hope this would make things easier. In the first round, I eliminated Sujang and Yuri. All of them saw ups and downs, but they had more downs than ups. In the next round, I eliminated Sarang, Yoo-ju and Jeon. This one was mostly based on today's performance. Sarang and Yoo-ju Yuju were kinda disappointing today. I was voting for Yuju and Jeon last round. They were in my top 3. I feel really sad leaving Yuju. It's her third prize, but what to do? I feel Jeon has the potential. I guess even if she doesn't make the cut, she will do good regardless. And lastly, Coco. I had to eliminate her. She was really good today, but if we see overall, I feel other 6 deserve more to debut. So my top 6 will be first Bang Jimin, second Eun Jiun, third Fuko, fourth Jung Sebi, fifth Mai, and sixth Che Jung-eun. 5 out of 6 were in my first top 7. What a full circle. I really want Dama team to debut together. They have unspoken chemistry and they are the best. Also, we were talking about ships, so just to remind you guys, Fuko and Jiun have a great friendship. Although it seems like Jiun and Jung-eun don't like each other, that's just their friendship. Who would not like to see them together? I feel this is the best lineup. It has the perfect center Sebi, 3 best vocalists, Mai with her expression, and Jimin. What else do you need? If they debut together, they will rock. I feel Jimin and Jiun will dominate in fan voting. Producers love Junghoon, Fuko and Sebi, so just Mai is stuck in the middle. Let's do our best to support her. I guess here I will wrap up the video. Watch this video as YouTube think you will like it. I will see you guys in the next week. Until then, have an awesome life.